No, nobody
Probably.
heard anything that I just said, and that's good. Hi everyone, we are live. I'm Simon at Wandering DM. Wow, I forgot that you all see the map, so you just got a look of all of our sheets. Uh,
Yeah, so we
but
can
that's
still
okay.
see Harold's sheet.
Yeah. But I'm gonna
Okay.
fix Mavia.
It has +5 to awkward.
Actually,
Oh boy.
I'll let you know that I have a specialty in communication that's called seduction.
How's that working out for you?
Great! I'm about to bone the Inquisitor. Like, bam! Anyway, hi everyone.
Bam.
I'm Simon.
That's not. No. There's no bam. No.
At Wandering DM. Hello everyone. Welcome to our merriment and off the rail campaign that is Dragon Age, the TTRPG. It's a game where Tanya, our illustrious DM, tried to have a perfectly crafted story, and we end up derailing everything, like crazy. But I'm playing Harold tonight. Before we go on and introduce the rest of our cast, I just want to let you know of a few things. First, you can check the portrait and character sheets of our characters below in the panel that says Roleplay Shows. So you can find that there if you want to take a look at what we're playing. Also, all week this week, we are taking every donation, every donation, every bits, every sub, everything that is given to the channel. We are raising money for the Community Health Network for Central Indiana and Indianapolis. We are raising money for caregivers that are currently on the front line of the COVID crisis. So if you feel generous, if you can afford it, you don't have to, but if you can, consider donating. We don't have we have the link in chat. That's gonna pop up over the course of this stream. But if you just donate using my regular link, I'll give the money back to CHN. So if you want to help our caregivers on the front line of the COVID crisis, consider donating tonight or at any point this week. That said, that's gonna be it for me. Oof, professional. Let's go around the table, introduce the rest of the cast and crew, and have the cameras move around apparently. So while I fix
Sorry.
that,
I didn't do it.
let's start. We'll go clockwise. We'll begin with Deirdre.
Oh, hey, all. Welcome back. You know me. I'm at Digital on Twitter, Praxora Thesmophoria, as you see me around on Twitch, and I get to play Verisa, one half of the Dalish Elves, and the sneaky stabby. That's me.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew. I'm not yet on Twitter. I know there's a movement trying to get
Damn
that
it,
done.
Andrew.
I know. I'll work on it. I just can never decide on a username. Like, what do I want to be known as out there?
Oh my god, use your character name.
I could do that. I am playing Bastien. He is a Ferelden warrior, and he's going to be our meat shield, I'm assuming. And yeah, looking forward to all of the fun we're going to have this round.
Up next, Kelly.
I got
Muted.
distracted and I muted myself. Hi, I'm Kelly. I play Mavia, the dwarf who knows nothing. And she's very excited to have a peaceful episode today where she learns all about Iron Bull's riding habits and what his favorite riding crop is.
Hi, everyone. I'm Eugenio, and tonight I will be playing Zalanis, Dalish elf mage keeper, who, at least as far as we know so far, has no interest in favored riding crops.
Wow, thanks, Eugenio. Thanks.
You are so welcome.
And this is why I wanted you in this game. My name is Tanya. I am your DM. I will be playing your NPCs this evening, including our dear Inquisitor Fenris, who is still having that internal record scratch, how did I get here moment. But hey, there's demons to fight now. So, with all of that said, I believe Simon has some folks to thank for bringing the show to you, and then we will recap.
Yes, we have a bunch of sponsors this week. Well, as always, but first of all, let me change my mic. There we go. I would like to thank Green Ronin Publishing, who are sponsoring this show tonight. Thank you so much to Green Ronin. Thank you to also all of our sponsors, such as Mage and Press, makers of 5th edition D&D supplements. You can check them out at store.mageandpress.com. Use code WanderingDM to get 15% off. That includes their hardcover copy of Dark Matter, the sci-fi fantasy D&D in space book. Also, our other sponsor, Found Familiar. If you crave good coffee, check out foundfamiliar.com. You can even use code WanderingDM to get 10% off your purchases. And if you order for $50 or more, you get free shipping if you live in the continental United States. By the way, their coffee is amazing, and all of their coffee names are based off like D&D, either puns or name of spells.
I have the Cartographer blend from Devon Rue.
And that's the special one, yeah.
Delicious. I like coffee. A lot.
Same. And last but not least, our partners through the Diceomancy program, Level Up Dice. Check them out by clicking on the purple torch down below or the link in chat. Every click helps us get higher level in the Diceomancy as Diceomancers, and when we do, we get new dice that we give away to all of our viewers. Our next step is a set of branded D6s. So if that might interest you, just check them out down below. They have awesome sets anyway. I am considering buying a few more myself, because you can never have enough of them.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there were shenanigans last week of the highest order. Would our cast and crew be kind enough to give a quick recap of what your characters got up to before we dive into ridiculousness and also combat?
I should just say, saying that last week was of the highest order is going to sound like a challenge to some of us, just so you know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's definitely not talking about you. Last week, let's see, I'll start since I already started talking. We finally left Skyhold. We managed to get out of Skyhold with our Inquisitor Fenris, who was sort of itching to get away from court, as it were, and get back out on the road for a bit. So we brought him with us as we headed toward Crestwood. We also brought Warden Blackwall with us, and Iron Bull, and it was just the, did I do it the other way? Right, Warden. And Iron Bull, and it was just the three of them, right? As in terms of NPCs that brought with us.
Yes.
So we brought the three of them with us, headed out on the road, and nothing weird happened, right?
I mean, I don't know. Verisa knows a lot. She was sneaky bitch.
Perfectly fine conversation that I had.
Mm-hmm.
I white knuckle my sword every day. I don't know what you mean.
Is that what the elder
I
calls it
mean-
now?
I walked into that one, didn't I?
Door opened.
I
walk
mean,
right in.
there's some swords Harold might want to walk into. That's all I'm saying. I'm
would.
being good tonight.
We've been on for 20 minutes.
I mean, he would walk into it, then he would back up, then walk in again, then back up, then in again.
Is it really walking?
Hey, by the way, this stream is 18 and up. So's my entire channel. So,
Wow.
that said. But no, we had a very, very tense discussion, Harold and Blackwall, on the way to Crestwood, as Harold found out that Blackwall is not, in fact, a Grey Warden, and has been impersonating a Grey Warden for his own survival. So Harold offered him an ultimatum where he could accompany us to Crestwood. He would not be... I would not tell the Lord Inquisitor about him, but... that means that he would have to undergo the joining, the special ritual that either kills you or makes you a Grey Warden.
I mean, Verisa also offered to stab him in the back.
True. And Bastien, what did you get up to? I believe you had a morning meeting as well before the real shenanigans began.
Yeah, before everything got so exciting, I had a discussion with Cullen about becoming a Templar and the lyrium addiction that's involved in that. And his recommendation that if I'm not beholden to it, then I should not walk down that road. That it's unless I want to really consecrate myself to the chantry and all of that. And there's just not that many people around to formalize the training either. Best avoid if possible. I think that was the gist of that conversation. And then, of course, later on, riding, finally leaving Skyhold and riding to our next destination. Mavia just jabbering away with questions.
But it was so cute.
It was. It really was.
See, in real life, I am way past the height limit for cute. So when I get a chance to play cute dwarf, which I'm only saying it that way because it annoyed the crap out of Devin Rue, which made me happy. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm gonna play that up. But we did find out a lot of interesting information about, you know, Bastion and Iron Bull. It was
Particularly what Iron Bull likes to ride or should maybe try riding.
I mean, yeah. He looked a little bit misty, like he wanted to attempt to ride a few of these things.
Mm.
Yeah. Other than that conversation, maybe it didn't do much except introduce her horse to Iron Bull, and which I'm not sure why she did that, and have a talk with Varric and steal his bacon, and and Varric basically called her on her shit, and she revealed that she is, of course, not actually the one who this letter was meant for.
Mm-hmm.
But according to her, possession is 9/10 of the law, and she ripped the other guy's name off of it, so it's hers now.
All right, that's legit. Anyone else have recap?
She
before we-
basically lied on her resume to get here.
She really lied on that resume. Anyone else have any other shenaniganry from last week you want to recap before we get into it?
I mean, Verisa just spent the time spying on everyone and then ended up watching Zalanis dancing in a courtyard.
I think
And,
the word is falling over.
Now look, that is between you and me and that hill
That you fell on?
that I fell over on.
Ooh, this is going to be a lot of fun. So after all of these shenanigans, and poor Fenris winding up out on the road with you all, and getting to Crestwood, you found the mayor. And before the mayor could give you a really good explanation of what was going on, a rift appeared behind him. And combat, our very first combat of this series. So we actually did initiative before we started the show because it's just easier to know who's going in what order. But for those keeping score in the chat, it will be Fenris, Blackwall, Verisa, Harold, Bull, Zalanis, Mavia, and then Bastien.
Should I re-roll since there was an issue with my sheet? Or do you want me to just leave that initiative?
Yeah, because I realized that she got none of the level up bonuses.
Go ahead and re-roll it really quick, because I'm afraid to ask now what it will be.
I just need to...
Not too different, I don't think. Whoop! Helps if I can spell the word roll. Roll 3d6.
Yes. So bear with us, chat.
It's less. Okay, you know what? Let's keep to 10.
Oh God. Wow. Okay.
Oh, I told you I can't roll for shit.
This
Okay, you're still
bodes
going ahead of
well.
me.
The dice are not in our favor today.
The
at
dice
least
are
not yet.
never in my favor.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll get there. All right.
Why do you think my bards never try to seduce anyone?
I don't know. I mean, you're working on it apparently with Bull, so.
Nah, not really. She's just working up to like riding on his shoulder so she can actually see what's going on. That's it.
It's adorable. But not so adorable are the demons that you have seen appear from around you. And also there's a green pulsing thing in the air a couple feet above everyone, even Bull. And it like pulses and then turns into what looks like a crystal and just kind of hangs there. As you all look at this, you're like, what's happening? Fenris, Bull, and Blackwall are just like, oh great, it's another day with demons. They're not really phased by it, but how do you all react to seeing 2 fear demons and 2 or 3 lesser fear demons suddenly surround you, as well as this green weird crystal in the sky?
Fuck.
Generally, I'll fuck and possibly try and move myself in front but to the left of Zalanis so that, he doesn't die.
Not dying would be good.
And
Little
shooting whatever
credit.
comes at me, whatever I see, because that's the default. I don't like this, it's evil, I'm going to shoot it. I don't need to know
Fair.
anything more than that.
What are the odds that it is a moment of terror and surprise, but what are the odds I notice any similarities between the green crystal in the sky and some of the colors that I've seen come off of Fenris's mark?
Do you have like a knowledge arcana, knowledge magic?
I do. I have arcane lore. Let's roll that.
Roll me an arcane lore, please.
That is 6, 9, 13, 14, 15.
You do notice that the mark in Fenris's hand pulses almost in time with this crystal, and that while it's now solidified, just kind of hanging there, his mark seems to be quiet, I guess would be the right way to put it. And like he's got his swords, the 2-handed swords, as well as you can like see the light from his mark. But Bull, Fenris, and Blackwall are totally unfazed by this, like, oh, it's a day ending and whatever the Dacian calendar days ended. And and he turns around and looks at all of you like, well, what are you waiting on? Or what about Bastien? Are you like, oh God, what is this?
I think I'm just gonna pull my crap, I forget what the name of my weapon is.
Glaive?
Glaive. There we go. Glaive. I'm sorry, I get it confused with some of the other ones. So I'm
That's
just
okay.
gonna pull out my glaive and move towards the ugly things, kind of make sure I'm between like them and our more squishy people.
Okay. And Mavia, I'm guessing this is the first time you've seen something like this.
Yeah, so she would be halfway through, like walking up next to Iron Bull and going, "What about a polo? What?" And she's just like pulling the. Do you see this? Do you not see this? Well, she'd be looking up because even on the pony, I assume he's like much taller than her.
Oh yeah, Bull's ridiculous.
Yeah, so she's just like, like she's wondering if maybe she like shouldn't have eaten something that she ate, and like maybe she's seeing stuff because no one else seems very surprised.
No, everyone else is not surprised it's with you because they see this all the time. Anyone else want to react before combat for real starts?
I think Harold would immediately draw weapon and shield, and probably move up to next to Bastien and just position himself there, ready to like receive like the charge of the demons or something.
Okay.
Just snap into muscle memory fighting Darkspawn, which he's actually almost never did.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot to account for our lesser demons. So first up is your Inquisitor, who seems more annoyed than anything else. because again, it's another day ending in whatever. And he starts going after the fearling, like the small demons that are surrounding you, not the big one that's kind of like stationary under the crystal while it's solid. And he's just going for it. And Fenris, it helps when I open his character sheet. I can't move it out of the way. Hopefully that does not interfere with. Oh, you can see Fenris. Crap. Oh no, that's not Fenris. Whose character sheet is that?
That's Mavia right now.
Okay. All right. So our friend Fenris is using the Blade of Mercy. So he gets a 13 on his attack. And this creature, the smaller creature, he does manage to hit it. And because he did get stun points, well, he got like 2 stun points, which wasn't very useful. So he's going to get 2d6 plus 5 to hit it. Wow, Fenris, good job. He only did 11 points of damage to this thing. And that's only one of them. So he's taken his hit and he backs up to get out of the way for Blackwall. And Blackwall's not very useful, apparently, in this fight, because they didn't bother to give him stats in the book. So Blackwall is totally a homebrew today. So 3, 8, 6, 11. Blackwall apparently thought he was feeling very froggy today and went after the fear demon itself, and he missed. His sword is now stuck in the dirt. So now, actually I'm gonna switch up a little bit. Verisa, it is your go.
Verisa has already swung the bow off her shoulder. It's almost as tall as she is, and anyone noticing would notice that it's doesn't look like any human bow that you would have seen. It's a very nice, very dark, heavy wood, and she just fires with it at whatever the biggest target is, probably the large demon, because I don't have to worry about the range, anything.
Okay, so you are going after the fear demon then.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. What are you rolling? And I will tell you some hits.
She's gonna take a half action to aim.
Okay.
And then an action to fire her longbow. So this is a +2 to this. So 16? No, 17, sorry.
That does hit. So give me your damage.
Right. So it's 6 damage. Not a lot, but
hey, it's still better than nothing.
Better than nothing. And then she's automatically ready with another arrow to fire as soon as she gets another chance.
Great, because your DM needs to pull out a calculator to do math. Because math is hard. And I added instead of subtracted. Good job, me. All right. The smaller, the lesser demons, the fearlings, are not happy with this. And they are going to go after, one is going to go after Verisa. And the other 2 are trying to figure out who they should go after. So the one that Fenris already attacked is going to go first. And then one of them is going to go after Verisa, the other may hold its action. Oh boy. It's 12. I should look at Fenris' sheet again. Oh, they miss him because he has enough armor. Verisa, I'm going to roll for one of the small fear demons. I wish I was better at reading the dice. 9, 11. Does an 11 hit you?
Nowhere near.
Okay, so the two fearlings that have attacked you have missed entirely. The other one, seeing this, even though they're not like really sentient creatures, it kind of like tries to post up in front of the big demon and guard it as well as you can figure out that's what it's doing. So next up, Harold, it is your go.
Is anyone has a one of the demons went after Verissa, so he's in back of us basically.
Yes.
I will look at Bastien and just say, I'll take the one in back. And I'll run up to that that demon and attack it.
All right. Go ahead and I can tell you if it hits it. Are you going after the big fear demon or the smaller demons?
I'll go up against the big fear demon.
Okay.
Well, the fearling is what came behind you.
Right.
Oh, the small one went behind me.
Yeah, the fearling is what.
The fearling. Yeah, I'll go after the fearling.
And that's the same one that attacked Verissa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Protecting my teammates. All right. So, wow, that's sucked. Oh wait, do I get to add my? Wait, I think I didn't put it right. I should add my strength to it, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. There's +5 to that, so that's what 3, 6, 10, 10 plus 5, 15.
Oh boy, you definitely hit it. Yeah. So roll me some damage.
Absolutely. And shit damage.
What is it?
Wait, I rolled a 2 3s though. One on my dragon die and one on the regular. Does it count as a stunt?
Yes. Do you want to do a stunt?
I would like to pull a stunt, yes.
All right, what are you doing?
So, if I understood the rules right, I have 3 stunt points because my dragon die is a 3.
Correct.
So, I will do lightning attack, which makes me able to do a second attack right after.
All right. So your first. All right. So I'm reading that. Go ahead with your second attack. Is this the same enemy or a different enemy?
It's either same or different, they said.
Yeah, I'm asking which one. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm still attacking the same.
Okay.
I'm just trying to fell that fearling as fast as possible.
Okay.
So the second attack would be a 9 plus 9, 18 to hit.
Oh, okay. So you put a hurting on this fearling. So I'm just making a note for all 3 of them.
So all in all, that would be 16 points of damage over 2 attacks. And I need to fix something on Mavia's sheet before she plays.
Okay, so you have definitely put a hurting on this fearling. It for as much as a inhuman creature can sound hurt and like it's not doing well. You've put a hurting on this fearling. So yeah, that is your attack down. And who is next? It's actually Bull's turn. Haha. Bull is annoyed.
See if he can ride it.
We don't ride demons.
I mean,
That's not gonna work out too well for Bull if he tries to ride a demon. No. Besides, Bull and the Canary are not down with the demons. But what he is going to do is he is going to attack the main fear demon because he's closest to that since he's near Fenris. So I can read numbers and I get stunt points. Haha, if I want to. 8, 10 plus. That's an 18. He definitely hits the fear demon because Bull has a stupid plus on his attack roll. And so for his actual attack, 6, 8, 9 plus 15. So he's put a bruise on this demon. So it's not down, but it is definitely hurting. So next up is Harold. No, you already did your turn. I'm sorry. Zalanis, you are next.
Zalanis was just super fascinated watching the green crystal and the Inquisitor's mark and was not paying close enough attention to Verisa. And she ran over and started trying to hit this thing. And she's the only other clan member I've got left. So,
No.
Zalanis is-
I stayed next to you and
Oh, you
fired
used
at
your
it.
bow. That's right.
I don't go nowhere. I stayed right next to you.
But it also came up to you, which was very upsetting to me. So what Zalanis is going to do is he's going to sort of look around and he's going to grip his staff and sort of beat it on the ground a few times, and the crystal at the top will start to shine green. And I'm going to cast Heroic Aura on Verisa.
Okay. And what does that give Verisa?
Oh, look at that. All right, so that's 9, 14, 15, 16. So I successfully cast the spell. Blessings. Verisa, you get a +2 to your defense until the end of the encounter. And I also have the adrenaline running through me and have some stunt points to fuck with. So let's see. This was a creation spell, and I can do creation stunts. So let's see what we want to do. I am also going to give Verisa, I'm going to use one of the stunt points to just charge up the spell a little extra, and you sort of see this silver light thread through it as it engulfs Verisa. And Verisa, you also have a +1 to your dexterity until the beginning of my next turn.
Oh boy.
And I have so many more points. And I will also give Bull a +1 to his strength, so a little bit of that silver also heads towards Bull.
Oh jeez.
Because I saw him
Okay.
wailing on that demon.
All right. Is that your total action for this round?
That is my total action for this round, and I'm keeping one eye sort of constantly on the Inquisitor and one on Verisa now, because those two cannot be trusted to not die.
Okay.
I mean,
Fenris
obviously
is
Fenris is going to be fine, but Zalanis doesn't know that.
All right. Mavia, it is your turn.
Oh boy. Okay, so I was right next to Iron Bull.
Mhm.
And so how far away was that demon from us?
Not very far. Like, no matter, even if you've got a very low movement speed, you should still be able to get up to it.
My movement speed is 15.
Yeah, you are within 15 feet.
Okay, so here's my other question. When it comes to movement, if I do something show-offy, is that okay, or is that like a stunty thingy that I have to do?
Probably a stunty thingy, but if you want to roll to hit and get stunt points, you can totally be show off.
Well, this is the other part of the same question. How far up on Iron Bull's leg does Mavia come, height-wise?
So Bull is, I don't know if people can actually see me. It's tall. Like, Bull's really tall, like over 7 feet.
Okay.
Maybe it's about what, 4-ish?
4'7" or something like that.
So she probably comes right up to his hip.
I probably shouldn't attempt what I was going to then.
I
That'd be a bad
mean,
idea.
You know what? Now you brought it up, you got to do it.
She is going to run between his legs to attack the demon.
I mean, you
Just
can
gonna,
also
just-
duck.
I am gonna duck slightly because that would just be like uncomfortable, just a little awkward. So we are going to run under Bull to attack the demon,
Okay.
and we're gonna see how bad Kelly rolls for 2 hits.
Are you using your daggers?
Yeah, dagger.
Okay.
Oh god, 5, 11, 18.
And you're attacking the main demon?
The one that Bull's attacking, if that's the main one,
Yes. Yes, you hit it.
that's my frond. Well, that's the only person at the moment that she thinks could possibly tolerate her for more than 5 minutes. So.
Oh god.
So
Yes,
I-
you do.
yeah, I have-
you do hit
I
the
think I have
demon.
2 daggers. I have dual wield. So do I?
So
roll
you're
to
gonna
attack
get.
twice.
We're gonna say both hits land.
Okay.
Since you are dual wielding at the same time. So
Mhm.
give me 2 damage rolls.
I'm really sad I didn't get any stun points. 7 and 11. 18.
Okay.
Is somebody playing in my character sheet?
Not that I'm aware of.
My page just turned. Okay.
So you said 11.
7 and 11, so 18.
Real quick, what was the height of Iron Bull again? 7 feet?
That's 7.
7, like 7.5 feet, if not more.
Okay, 7.5. And Mavia is
I think she was like 4'7".
4'7". Okay.
What are you doing? I don't trust you.
Oh, I have a
dear.
website that you can check the comparison of
Oh.
heights of people.
My god.
So you actually
Wow.
are up to his navel.
Oh, so
Alright.
I'll duck and run. Duck and run.
I'm sure if once he feels you brush past him, he's going.
Stand very still because that's delicate. You don't want it to get hit.
Alright, so you did 11 damage total.
I can't remember. Oh crap.
Yes, you said 11, I think, total.
No, that was. I have 2 daggers. 1 hit for 7. 1 hit for 11.
Oh, so you got 18.
18.
Okay. So let me fix that. All
And
right.
I would have stabbed him in the sensitive bits because that's probably the closest she can reach. So
Well, it's a demon. It doesn't really have.
she might
sensitive-
have sensitive bits.
Maybe. But now it's the demon's turn.
Oh boy.
Yes.
And maybe it gets knocked off the map.
No. But the demon is not happy at being stabbed at close to whatever a demon's sensitive bits are, but maybe is lucky because she's small. The demon, as it like rears back and you see claws like kind of form,
Mm-hmm.
Bull's right in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna roll for the demon. The demon's gonna have to roll really well to beat Bull's AC. Oh, the demon rolled really well. Well, shit. Sorry, Bull. It is attacking with claws, and it's 2d6. Ah! And I get stun points as the demon, but I'm not going to do that to poor Bull. Actually, I am going to do that to Bull because I have just enough stun points to pull it off.
Oh no!
I mean, you knew what you were getting when you let me DM.
Epic battle.
How am I
Epic
gonna have a
battle.
buddy cop show if you kill Bull?
I'll heal him.
Die. He won't
It's why I'm
die.
here. He'll be fine.
Just before charging in, Bull said, "I'm too old for this."
I mean, Bull actually does say that, I think. I have to go look. But the demon is going to subject Bull to abject horror. And abject horror basically makes him paralyzed with fear, which is really going to mess with him later. So as the demon is attacking him and gets its claws into him for 7, 12. Oh, I misrolled that, so I'm going to reroll. Still 12 damage, though. For 12 points of damage, it also pulls a stunt of abject horror. And Bull stumbles back and like starts shaking his head and he just keeps saying no. None of you know why this is happening to him. All you see is this massive warrior is now totally freaking out, and he looks like he's about 30 seconds from cutting and running from the field, which doesn't seem to fit Bull, but hey, demons. And last but definitely not least is Bastien.
So, Mavia and Bull are at the main demon,
Mm-hmm.
and there's what else is like around
Around the main demon.
or around like my position versus like Mavia and Bull, because I feel like I was kind of close to them anyway.
So if you want to say you're between them for the moment, you see Bull kind of staggering around by the main big demon. The 2 Furlings that are unharmed are kind of like wandering almost like counterclockwise to each other and keeping an eye on you as much as demons can keep an eye on you. and the one that's hurt is like kind of listing to the side, and it's very hurt, but it's not quite down yet. So you could pick any one of 4 targets at this point.
I think I'm going to advance on the main demon just in case Bull does cut and run. I don't want like Mavia getting crushed.
Okay. Roll your attack.
Okay, so hopefully this works. And I think there should be.
That's
that-
pretty good.
I can't see it from.
That's
oh,
a
yeah, you
20.
did.
Am I supposed to add anything to that? Or is that already?
You add them all together.
Your strength and your
Oh.
strength.
And my strength, so that would be. That's 25 to
Oh
hit.
yeah. Oh yeah. You
With-
totally hit the demon.
Pair of 5s, which gives me 5 stunt points.
Oh boy. So give me your damage and then tell me if you do any stunts.
Okay, so damage would be 8.
8 damage.
Yep.
Okay.
And then stunt wise, I will. I'm going to. So if I lightning attack, I do a second attack right away, right?
Yes, and it can be the same enemy or a different enemy. All enemies are currently within sight.
And can I then use the second, like the last 2 stunt points for like a mighty blow on the second attack, or does it really not make much difference?
So if you're getting a second attack, you do an extra d6 damage. So if you roll high enough to get damage,
Yeah.
then you'll add an extra d6. You'd roll 40 or whatever your damage is, add a d6.
Or should I just, yeah, so I should just do the mighty blow and the lightning attack like right now and then do the lightning attack afterwards.
Well, do your lightning attack because that's allowing you to do a second, and then if you hit, then you can do the mighty blow. Because you can't roll stunt points forward, so you might as well just use them all.
Okay, so let's do the so that would be 11, hold on, I can't count.
So your attack, your 3d6 plus your strength.
So that would be my 3d6. So that I'm going to call that 18. I have to look up something, but I will call that
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, then that does hit. So far 18s, 19s, and 20s are definitely hitting this creature, the larger creature. So yeah, so roll your normal damage and add a d6.
Normal, that would be 7 plus 2, so that is 9 damage on the second attack.
Okay. All right, you all are putting a wallop on this main fear demon. It's not looking so hot anymore, but there are still 3 lesser demons to contend with. So we are back at the top of initiative, and that means Fenris, who, while the combat's been going on, has been trying to get around the rift so he could use his mark to close it. But just like when you're actually playing the video game, every demon that is around manages to hit you, and you can't close the rift. So he is going to try to take out.
So annoying.
Right? You're like, I just want to close this thing, go home. I just want to close it. I'm gonna get you for that later, Simon. I saw the chat. So our friend.
Wiggle me.
We've met you. All right, so Fenris is not a happy elf. 7, 8. Oh, that is not quite enough to actually hit the fear demon this time around. Because unless I do magic glowy fist trick, that was not going to hit. So Fenris is attempting to get the demon, but because he's so angry and unfocused, he swings wide and goes like to the other side of the demon, and unfortunately gets no stunt points this time. So next up is, if I could keep my initiative, is Blackwall, who somehow managed to get his sword out of the dirt. And I should really use someone else's character sheet for Blackwall. So the chat and the players are aware I'm just stealing Cullen's stats for this because they're both warriors anyway. Ooh, Blackwall. Wow, Blackwall whiffed. He whiffed so hard. He went so far, and in the end, it didn't really matter. Yeah, Blackwall whiffs again. He's just so annoyed and a little bit embarrassed that he missed so badly the first time. He basically does it again, but like stumbles and falls on his face. Cause, well, Blackwall. Next up is Verisa.
Verisa is going to shoot very quickly the very large thing, and because I also taking a minor action to aim.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, she will shout at Fenris, "What happens if I break the shiny thing?"
You can't. I can close the shiny thing, but you could focus on the demon. I'll close the rift.
Cool. That is an 18.
That does hit the demon, so give me your
Well,
damage.
excuse me, 19, but yeah, 19. 7.
You do 7 damage? Okay. Did you
And
get any
she's
stun
already-
points of that?
No, I did not get any stunt points off of that. She's
Okay.
ready to reload. She's reloaded and ready to go again. And she's just moving herself slightly to keep out of Zalanis's line of fire, but at the same time aware of everyone else around who might and hit the mage.
Yeah. So the that
Keeper.
leads.
Keeper.
No worries. That gives us our Fearling's turn. The one that's really hurt is kind of like not really doing much except kind of like almost like trying to limp away because it's hurt that bad. And yes, it's a demon. For what it's worth, it is kind of a sad, pathetic sight. The two that are hale and hearty, though, they are not happy and are going after Fenris.
Now I want a soup and a salad.
A soup and a salad?
From
God.
Hale and Hardy.
Hale and Hardy.
God.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Can we do
You
like a
meant just
soup
to
and
hit
grilled
the-
cheese instead of a salad?
Oh.
Maybe is out here wondering about food in the middle of combat.
I mean, pretty much constant. She has pocket bacon.
So 4, 6. Okay, what is the Fearlings? Strength. They luckily whiff, and they kind of like, because they're demons, are almost like, think of like weird little jello blobby things. They almost like stick together as they like totally just miss Fenris and pass each other. And like I said, the one that's almost down is just kind of like sadly like leaning against a tree, like can I go back to the Fade now? Like this is not what I signed up for. It is now Harold's turn.
Seeing how the one that was attacking Verissa is no more of a threat, Harold would look around, see Blackwall have trouble with one of the demons, and won't go to his aid. I'm going to
Wow.
rush one of the demons that attacked Fenris
Okay.
as he was moving around. Actually, I think I'm gonna go against the big fear demon.
Okay, so Bull is still kind of disoriented, and Fenris is now like fighting off the two Fearlings, so you've got a wide open path to attack this main demon.
All right. Just remind me, Tanya, in combat, we
Yeah.
have, it's 2 major actions, and we can split them,
Mm-hmm.
or 1 major, or 2 minor.
God, you asked me a hard question. Oh God.
I'm
You
still
get a
trying
major
to...
and you get a major and a minor, or 2 minors.
Yes.
Okay,
thank you.
it's either or. Okay.
Yeah.
It's how I can aim and fire every round.
Yeah, no, it's because I have a power that helps with like command, it gives you more willpower against fear and stuff like that. But I
Okay.
feel like getting the demon down and then comforting Bull would be the best course of action.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to run up against the demon. Hopefully I'm going to generate some stun points. Nope, none at all. But that's a total of 15.
Oh, you miss. You miss the demon. So
Oh, hi.
how does that whiff look for you?
I think Harold runs up to where the demon is, and he wanted to make sure that he could handle like an oncoming blow. So Harold lifted up his shield up, unfortunately putting it in his field of vision. And when he swung low with his sword, he didn't realize, but he was like mere inches away from the creature, having not extended enough.
Oh dear. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him later. Next up would be Bull, but he's a little bit busy right now, being terrified by the visions that the fear demon has put in his head. So next up is Zalanas. You're muted, Zalanas.
Thank you. Seeing this mess, Zalanis just wants to be done so that he can talk to Fenris, excuse me, to Fenris about the mark. Is going to go ahead and point his staff at the big demon
Okay.
and fire off an arcane lance at it.
Ooh.
I don't know if I have programmed this right. Let's find out.
Do you have to roll for that, or is it an automatic hit? Like kind of.
I know I do have to roll. I got a 20.
You hit it.
And I got doubles and a 6 on the dragon dice, so I got lots of points.
Oh boy. So what we doing? Well, first
all right.
damage unless you're using a stunt that adds.
Oh, yes. The damage is 7 damage.
Okay. Are you using a stunt that adds damage?
I very well may. 106 is my spell stunts. Yes, I will use 2 of those points to really put some gusto behind this one. And it sort of actually staggers me back. It's been a while since Alanis has had to fight like this, and he's basically been surprised at every spell that he's cast that it's gone as well as it has.
Uh-huh.
So this one, he just blasts this lance, and this sort of green flame fires out towards the demon, and it's so strong that it staggers him back, and it does an additional 6 points of damage, so total of 13.
Oh boy. All right. Are you doing any other stunts?
Yes, I am. This was not that, so I will use 3 remaining points. You can see the fire sort of backwashes on him, and covers him, and I have a temporary protective shield of magic that will increase my defense until the beginning of my next turn.
Perfect. This demon has seen better days. Mavia, it is your turn.
So Mavia would obviously have noticed that what's going on with Bull, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she would have turned around and she's very concerned.
Right.
She's super concerned, and she wants to reach out to make him stop staggering back and comfort him. But she
Mhm.
also wants to stab the thing that hurt him. So
Okay.
she's going to do that first. Hopefully. Let's see here. 15 to hit.
It does not hit unless you have any additional bonuses.
Do I have any additional bonuses? I think my bonus is added in there already.
Yeah. Okay, so 15 did not hit. Tell us what that miss looks like for you.
Well, so in this case, I think it's because she's distracted. So she would have half turned around and reached out to touch Bull and seen how upset he looked, and she gets kind of this very determined look on her face, and turns around to swing both her daggers at the same time, and misses just because she wasn't focusing on that. at
Okay.
first. So it's almost like you make a swipe, like it just goes wide instead of
Okay.
being very precise.
Okay. That brings us to the Fear Demon in initiative order. And the Fear Demon, you know, like how in Dragon Age when demons kind of like start dissolving when they're almost down?
Nope.
True, you wouldn't have seen this. You may be incredibly horrified in this moment. The Fear Demon is, imagine a gelatinous cube, but dark and smoky, like slowly kind of like oozing into nothingness because it's nearly down.
What does it smell like? Because she's very close to it at this point.
Ozone, sulfur, and brimstone.
Yeah, she would definitely be kind of gagging because that's just
Oh,
straight
yeah.
up rotten eggs. That's gross.
Yeah, demons are not, you know, they're not very suave. They don't use cologne or aftershave. And it did
They
come
shave?
from, I don't know. It's a demon. It could have shaved when
It's
it
true.
was
Possibly.
mortal. Who knows?
I mean, maybe.
Just for clarity, Harold does not gag at the smell because Harold does not have a gag reflex. I'll see myself out.
Oh my lord.
Well, and you're also a mage, so oh no, you're a warrior, but I was like, you've been into winter. There's a lot of things that wouldn't make you gag. And since the fear demon is in no real shape to do much of anything, Bastien, you can come in and kind of save the day.
I will totally save the day and just hammer again with the glaive, and let's see what that does. So 18 for the hit, and 8 damage.
Sebastian, to borrow a phrase from our friends over Critical Role, how do you want to do this?
I want to like bring the glaive like high up over my head and just like power swing down and just like slice it down like right down the center and just let it ooze out.
Nice.
And as he does it, he's gonna say, "How's it feel to be killed by the guy without the Twitter account?" And he will
Twitter.
No, Twitter for the win.
Oh, God. So the demon is down. The main demon is donezo. And that brings us back up to Fenris, who has finally gotten away from the couple of fearlings that were doing their level best to basically harangue him and keep him from closing the rift. And with a little bit of, creative license, he is finally like holding off one of them so he can like fully hold his palm up and start closing the rift. And he calls out to the rest of you to help him get rid of the last two demons so he can concentrate. It takes like all of his concentration to close this damn thing. So Fenris is going to be occupied with closing the rift. Blackwall is he's like so annoyed that he keeps failing that he goes after the one very weakened fearling, and it's just like, I'm gonna kill something, damn it, even though it's like really pathetic, and he's going after the weakest link, literally. I'm just gonna roll damage because this fearling, y'all put a hurting on it before it kind of gave up on life. And since I'm stealing Cullen's character sheet for Blackwall, that it is safe to say that we are one less fearling in the world. And again, Bull is still affected by what the Fear Demon did. He will be for another round, depending on how long combat goes. Verisa is next.
I'm going to do what I do best and shoot at probably the fearling that Fenris is holding off, and just kind of shoot it in the back, attempt to do so.
Okay.
Because I'm taking my minor action to aim, so +2 to this. 22.
Oh, you absolutely hear the Fear Demon. And your shot is very good. You managed not to shoot the Inquisitor.
No, I think it's literally like his hand is in like holding him back, and I put the arrow right like 6 inches from it.
Yeah, it was a very good shot.
what she does. With 9 on the die. Crit damage. Yay.
Nice. What does that look like? Because you've done some hard damage to this fearling, and it like screeches, and the mages in the party like kind of get a little weirded out because, oh god, demon sounds. Demons. And we know what the demons sound like in the game for most of us. It's an unpleasant sound. If you thought they smelled bad, the sound is nothing worse.
Like the worst. It's the worst nails on chalkboard, but still symphonic somehow. It's weird.
Yes.
I think she literally just goes and sees that Blackwall is going to do nothing and fires at the one that's actual threat at the moment and puts it right in the like throat of the demon kind of area.
Yeah.
And she would probably turn to like say negligently in Elven over her shoulder to Zalanis, not quietly, that the not warden is not good.
Does Harold hear that?
Does Harold speak Elven?
Harold's an elf, yes.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, but he's
the
a city
winter
elf.
slaves don't have the...
Oh, yeah.
I was never taught the language of my people.
And I said
Wow.
not warden, looking at
Oh.
Blackwall.
Oh, I know. I just didn't know if Harold would understand you.
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
It just
Let me have
sounds
this-
like flowery speech.
Oh, God.
Now's not the time for poems!
Oh, God. All right. So you've more or less taken out one of the remaining fear demons. That means it is now Bull's turn, but again, Bull, while he's no longer like deeply affected by what the fear demon did to him because it's been defeated, it's gone, it's no longer on the physical plane, he's kind of like leaning against a wall and trying to get his composure back because he's freaked out. Because it is a fear demon, it gave him one of his absolute worst fears and preyed on his mind, and that was all he could see and all he could experience. So Bull's pretty much out for the count until you are back and at least done with combat / sit down and have a meal and everything else. Zalanis, you are next.
So there is one remaining fearling, yes?
Yeah, the one that Verisa shot is pretty much done for. It's in that same pathetic listing. One more like strong breeze will take it out of the mortal plane.
Yeah, we'll finish that one off because that's the one that the Inquisitor is also dealing with, or was dealing with. It's the one closest to Fenris, anyway.
Yeah, so he's been like trying to like keep these two fearlings at bay so he could actually close the rift.
Right.
Since he's the only one that can do it.
Right. I mean, at this point, we just want to let him finish that so we can all go home. So Zalanis will once again point his staff and fire off an arcane lance. 6, 12, 17 to hit.
Since it's a lesser creature, yes, a 17 will hit it.
Okay. That is 6 damage, but this one I got doubles on the die and another 6 on the dragon dice. So
Okay.
this one's also going to kick a little extra hard and do a total of 10 damage.
Okay.
And then with my remaining stunt points, I can use 3 of them to cast a spell. It's one of the mage level things. So I'm going to use it to cast heal on Bull, because I can see that he's sort of calmed down at least, but he's probably still bleeding.
Yeah, the creature did get its claws in him, so that is your other action.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
my other one.
Okay.
And I'll just spend one mana to do it, so it'll just be a single d6. So that's 5 hit points back.
Okay. It's not
As
bad.
that silver light sort of oh wait, it's this plus magic. No, just 1d6. So yes, 5 points. That silver light wraps around the top of the staff and goes firing off in the other direction towards Bull.
Okay. So that does revitalize Bull, and he physically seems to kind of pull himself together. Mentally, that's a whole other kettle of fish. Mavia, it is your turn, and there is basically one fearling left to deal with as Fenris finally is able to concentrate and get that rift closed.
And how far away am I from it? Pretty
You're
close?
maybe 10 feet.
Okay. So no, I don't think I can do that as a minor action.
What are you trying to do?
I was gonna give pocket bacon to Bull to see if it would make him feel better to eat something.
That
but-
could be a post-combat.
Yeah,
because
it's gonna
you have
happen.
to get to Bull.
But she just feels really bad. I thought he was right
Yeah.
next to her.
He's staggered around
he
a lot.
staggered back, okay,
Yeah.
Okay, well then she is going to run at the other demon, and that's still there. And 2, 3, 7, 14 is not going to hit it, I don't think.
No, even though it's a lesser creature, 14 is still a miss.
Surprise.
Are you taking both your attacks at once, or are they one at a time?
You know what? That's a good point. I haven't been doing that. Even though I mentioned it, I haven't been doing it. So second one is 11, 12, 19.
That one does hit.
That one does hit. So she would just kind of run and just, stab it in the wherever she can reach, honestly, because she notices that it looks pretty goopy.
Okay. And what's your damage?
And 10.
Oh yeah, you finish off that fearling. So how do you want to do this?
Oh my god, this is like the first time Mavie has been able to do something heroic in her life. She's very
Yes.
excited. I think she would, stab it in, and she's making a little, angry noises. And she stabs it, she hits it with the one and it misses, and she just gets angrier and like overhand stabs the second one. And when it starts to melt, I think she would just honestly look surprised. Like very surprised, and then pull her hand back really quick because there's goopy stuff all over her hand.
Ew.
That's gross.
Yeah, it's probably very gross.
That's
and
gross.
I mean, maybe
I-
for you.
Oh my god, what has gotten into everyone tonight? Jesus.
It's National
listen.
Horny Day.
Is what?
Yeah, today's
Thank you,
National
Twitter.
Horny Day.
Wow.
Wow.
So they missed the opportunity to use Wednesday as Hump Day and National Horny Day.
Right? That makes no sense.
Wow. Wow. Hannah's like, thanks, I hate it.
That's about what I'm like.
Uh,
Although horny day, Bull's gonna have a good day.
he hopefully he'll have a better day. It's not been Bull's day yet. But that does take out your last enemy. You are now out of initiative and combat. And what you all see is Fenris holding his arm fully out, kind of pointed up at this thing. And it starts to like pulse and shift around. And then it like almost folds in on itself, kind of like sci-fi movies where black holes fold in on themselves. And there's like a loud pop and a whoosh, and then it's gone. Like the sky is no longer green. You feel like you can breathe again because there's not demonic essence everywhere. And Fenris like shakes the hand with the mark in it and stumbles over to like a log and sits there. And he's breathing hard, and he's just like, I really, really hate this. Because for him, along with his markings, it's really hard being the Inquisitor. So he's sitting there catching his breath. What are the rest of you doing now that the combat is over?
Sorry.
Varisa's picking up any arrows that she can find and bringing them, waste not, want not.
Maybe I would now run to Bull and like grab one of his hands and start shaking his hand, like with both her hands. So she's got like his pinky and his thumb, and she's like, "Buddy, hey."
He
I really
kind of
not the snack and bacon. Come on, don't do it.
you said bacon,
Pocket bacon.
pocket bacon, snack and bacon. He shakes his head and he struggles for a minute, but he gets his axe back in the holster. It's like, yeah. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Just I'm gonna walk it off. I'll be okay.
Do you need bacon?
Is it dragon bacon?
It's just it's Varric's bacon. I stole it.
Oh, even better. So he holds her hand out and takes the bacon.
She will dump the entire pouch of bacon out into his hand.
Oh my god. He'll take it. He's feeling rough.
I mean,
He, like,
yeah, you got. I mean, that's just gonna be a little pick me up, you know.
Yeah, he'll take it. I mean, it's protein and it's energy and it's fat. He'll take it. But he sits there and he like thankfully like kind of chews on this bacon. He doesn't question how long the bacon has been in your pocket or when you stole the bacon. He's a little rattled right now.
I mean, to be fair, it was only like this morning. So
I know, but
not
in the
that
moment he's not
bad.
thinking about it.
Like I told Chad, I once had a barbarian who filled a belt pouch with soup because she liked the soup.
Oh
So
dear.
yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
But Bull's like, he's not able to articulate it right now, but he is grateful for you checking in on him. Blackwall's wandering around looting or seeing what the demons and fearlings have left. Of course, he will give it over to the Inquisitor first, but he is kind of like doing the cleanup duty of what was left behind after this battle. Fenris is just sitting there. He's just like muttering to himself and to Veen. And the rest of you, what are you up to?
Bastion is just gonna whip his blade around once or twice, get as much of the gunk off of it as he can before walking over to his pack and pulling out a rag and kind of just trying to clean the blade off.
Okay.
Zalanas just sort of stands, just sort of watching Fenris for a few moments, and then in Elven will just sort of yell out to him, "Whatever that was," oh no, that's not his voice. Whatever that was, it was fucking cool. We have to talk about this. What just happened?
And Fenris just like lifts his other hand without the mark and gives you the finger. It's cool. Like, cool, really? This is where we are?
I think Verisa hears that and turns and from picking up one of her arrows and shouts over at Zalanis in Elven is like, "We had this discussion about what you think is cool and what the rest of us think is not scary ass shit. This was scary ass shit."
Okay, you're right. It was terrifying.
And it smelled very bad.
It did it back. It smelled terrible.
Yeah, you just have the two elves yelling at each other.
Oh, God.
And dwarf's like a tennis match. She's just like,
So I'll say, okay, you're absolutely right. I can't imagine what that must be like for you, but I would very much like to discuss what that was. It was whatever it was. You have to admit it was surprising to see for the first time.
Yeah, I'll give you that. So Fenris is like, later, I've got a headache. I need to. That
Do you
always
require
takes
healing?
out of me. And he looks up at you, and then he looks at your hands, and he's like, give me a minute. Magic and healing and my marks plus fucking rift. I need a minute. Just check on others first, and then you can heal me. And he starts like rubbing his head because it does affect him badly.
Sure.
Harold, what are you doing?
Harold would walk up to Bastien as he's cleaning his weapon. Well fought.
Thank you. Not so bad yourself.
Did what I could. You've seen a lot of fighting, I wager.
I've seen my fair share.
Can I ask for your opinion on something?
Of course.
As one professional warrior to another.
Are we talking about blade sizes here?
I just look at the glaive and I'm like, can't compete.
Didn't think so. What's your question?
What did you think of Blackwall?
So Bastion is gonna kind of try not to say this too loudly and kind of lean in and, well, that was impressively bad.
he's not
Is it normal
representative
for?
of
Yeah, I
all
was
of
gonna
our
say, is it
order.
normal for you wardens to whiff that badly?
He may have been a little shook from our discussion on the road. Us wardens
Yeah.
are more used to fighting darkspawns than actual demons. It's the work of
Right.
Templars.
You got here a little late. Everything okay?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We were talking about warden stuff.
See. Well, hopefully next time this happens, he's going to be a little more prepared. You might want to talk to him again. Go a little easier this time, though. You really rattled him.
I think I did.
All right. While everyone is having their chats and picking up loot and everything else, we're gonna take a little bit of a break so everyone can get combobulated and recover from our first ever combat in the campaign. And everyone watching, please hang out. Please tweet that we're still live. Go get some water, get a snack, go get your bacon, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Hello, everyone. We are back.
Kelly, put it down.
As Kelly
Down.
takes the biggest
Put
swig.
it down. Don't choke. Oh.
Can't.
Well, she was swallowing from the bottle, not the bottle.
Well, I mean, like, I still have the intro running, so.
Oh, don't worry. There's a delay, but like everything that just happened will happen.
The last thing my husband's D&D group heard was, "Woman, you can't take the whole handle." I was like, "Yes, I can."
Hey, everyone. We're
Hi.
back.
And we're back.
Clearly, we needed a breather after combat.
Yeah.
I have red vines because Fenris needed a snack after that. Well, that's the only TOS approved snack Fenris could have.
I mean, technically, if you consider the size difference, maybe it would be snack size, but we're not gonna go into that.
Look, if all you got is a red vine, I'm sorry, I can't fuck with you. Nor Fenris, I'm sorry. So that's the after show. Sorry, y'all.
Dragon Age After Dark.
I
hosted
mean, I
by
thought that
Cypher
was just
Fear.
Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sun never rises if that's the case.
True. But now that your cast and DM are back, and we're clearly full of silly today.
That was a
So
lot of bourbon. I'm sorry. Woof.
so during our break, our characters were kind of wandering around, trying to do the things you normally do after combat in Dragon Age. Fenris is kind of sitting there, like with his like pressing over his eye socket as he listens to everything going on around him. The mayor, who apparently has better sense than most NPCs, ran away when the demon showed up.
Oh,
And
good
now
job.
Yeah, because the mayor also would have died very quickly if a demon had caught him. And he creeps out and he starts calling out, like, "What happened? Are you all okay?" And Fenris is just like, he like raises his head and looks for who said that, like, "I'm gonna murder you." Like, no, we're not okay. What do you think just happened? And so the mayor doesn't hear anyone respond, and he comes out like around the corner and sees the disaster that is left of the town square after the demon fight. He sees Fenris sitting there looking like someone beat him with a bag of rocks. Bull looking about the same. And he actually goes up to Bastian and Harrell. It's clear your companions are hurt. What happened?
Some demons showed up.
That's what that green thing was? A demon?
No, that I think was a rift. The demon is what came out of it.
Apparently. Well, if everyone can walk, we can show you some hospitality. If not at my home, then in the inn in the newer part of town.
That would be much welcome.
Bull can walk, but he's taking his time. Fenris can walk, but he's like almost disoriented. And if someone doesn't lead him toward the inn, he may stumble off into a ditch.
Harold volunteers.
I'm gonna look at Harold and just kind of nod back to Fenris
Wow.
and be like,
Oh.
Maybe
friend.
I would have run and gotten Pegasus, because I mean the horses probably would have scattered a little bit, I would assume, during the fight. And
Oh yeah, well the horses had already been kind of they were being seen to right when the demon attack happened.
okay.
So
They were already off the screen.
Yeah,
So she goes running up to Iron Bull and she was like, "Do you need help? Do you need to lean on me? I'm pretty strong. You can lean on me. Did you see me stab that thing? I totally killed it."
Since Solanas was just talking to Fenris and hadn't really had a chance to go check on anybody
Yeah.
else before the mayor came out. I'll try and as unobtrusively as possible make sure that Fenris gets going in the right direction until and unless Harold walks up? Question mark.
Well, after
go.
everyone looks at Harold, Harold picks up on the clues and will approach Fenris.
Solanus will just sort of give Fenris a look like, can I go? Should I go?
Should you stay or should you go?
Go. Fenris isn't paying you any attention, by the way.
Right.
I think at this point, Verisa kind of just comes up behind Zalanis and like pushes you away and pulls from a flask from behind her back and like kind of hands it to Harold. Is like, here, give him that.
Oh wow.
I'll take the flask. And
I want that back, by the way.
oh yeah, don't worry. That looked rough, I say to Fenris.
Looked rough. Be glad. He starts to make a smart ass comment, but he like can't even pull two words together right now. He's like, it was worse than looked rough. I'm feeling pretty beat up. And you notice he was like clenching the hand with the mark a little bit.
Mm.
He's like, are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. Thanks for asking. Here, Verisa lent me this. And I'll show him the flask.
What's in it?
Good question. I'll open it, smell it.
I mean, it's probably just about. No, I was in Skyhold. I may have liberated some of Skyhold's alcohol.
Liberated? Okay.
He was just sitting out.
Fair.
Oh, it's
It would have served it to us eventually.
I think
Like
it's
Mavia, but with whiskey.
I think it's something that they served us last night. Smells like hard liquor.
Probably something Hawk ordered for the keep. He takes it and sniffs it, and he's like, "Yep, that's definitely something that Hawk likes to drink." And he like takes a good sized swig of it and hands it back to you. That'll hold me until we get to where are we going? Where's the mayor taking us?
The inn. We're going to be
Alright.
treated to their hospitality.
Well, better theirs than the demons. And even though Fenris is taller than you, he does like kind of lean on you because he's just like, it's almost like he had a bender, but without any of the fun parts of it. So he's leaning on you. He's kind of quiet. He's just thinking a lot as you follow along toward wherever the inn is. It shouldn't be that far away though. What's everyone else doing? Maybe you're helping Bull, correct?
Yes, she's offering to support him on the way to the inn, which would be kind of hilarious because I'm pretty sure his entire hand would fit over her head.
Probably, but
It's gonna
he's
be
a
like
little-
Andre the Giant and Princess Bride with Robin Wright.
Oh God.
Just like sticking his hand on her head.
Yeah, I mean that's accurate. But he's a little discombobulated, so he's fine. Bull normally is the chatty one if Dorian isn't there, and he's uncharacteristically quiet. Bastian, what are you doing?
I'm gonna walk with the mayor towards wherever he's leading us, and Bastian is just gonna kind of look at him and say, "So what's going on in your town?"
Merrick, he looks around almost like he's afraid of someone overhearing him, even though you're walking down an open street. There's just like half the Thetis, there's demons everywhere you look. You know, our town already survived the blight. What more do we have to do? You know, we keep a chantry, we pray to Andraste. Why does this keep happening to us? And he's trying to get a full head of steam and rant about the unfairness of life and why Crestwood seems to be the target of the deity's ire. It's like, but we're taking you to the refurbished parts of the town, and don't worry, there's a nice inn. We'll make sure that you get fed, any medicine you need, and we do have a healer now. We do know the Inquisitor is not the biggest fan of mages, um, but we'd like to keep our healer in one piece.
We should be able to make sure that happens. Has it gotten any worse lately?
You mean with demons?
Yeah.
Mostly the demons have been out more on the dock near where we bring ships in and bring in supplies. There's something out there that is attracting them. If you look at night, you'll see the green flash of a rift, but none of us can get to it. And if we could, we're not the Inquisitor. We can't close it.
Hmm. Okay.
But maybe once you all are healed up, I can point you to where it is, and maybe you can look at it. Even if you can come back, we'd appreciate it.
Sure. Yeah. If you can show me that once we're settled in, I'd like to know what you're talking about exactly. I'd like to see it.
All right. So the mayor just prattles on with you as he walks you toward the inn, and for a not great town, it's a pretty decent inn. It looks very new construction. It doesn't have that kind of almost like waterlogged sense to it that a lot of the buildings seem to have in this town. And he calls for a serving girl as soon as you get in, and once room's prepared and on the lower floor, so no one has to climb stairs if they're hurt. As he's barking out orders to the innkeep and serving girls, Fenris finds like the first comfortable looking chair he can find and kind of sits in it and leans back and keeps rubbing his temples because clearly he's not okay, even with the sip of whiskey. It's a kind of standard inn, a nice sized bar. For what it is, it's actually a decent looking spot. It's almost like the Herald's Rest, but not quite that nice. So there is a bit of time before rooms will be ready and you can get food served. Are any of you kind of observing the bar, observing other people, chatting with each other? Now that you're seated and warm and dried off.
Harold would try to get drinks for everyone, like pay for everyone's drinks.
Okay. All right, so while Harold's getting drinks, what are the rest of you doing?
If Fenris doesn't look like he's in any more condition to really have a Q&A about what happened yet, then I think the next person I would check on is probably Bull, since I did clock him getting injured and partially healed him during the battle.
Yeah, so right now Fenris has a pounding headache.
Yeah.
Which, could turn into a migraine or whatever the Dacian equivalent of migraine be. He's not doing great, but if there was either a healing potion shoved in his hand or very careful magical healing, he may not say no, but I'll have to do a roll for it.
Sure. Yeah, I guess I'll offer. He looks at least better enough that the sound of my voice isn't going to set him off if I'm quiet enough. So yeah, I'll offer. Maybe he's gotten desperate enough.
All right. Roll. I'm gonna roll for Fenris and see how annoyed he is.
Oh no.
I mean, you have.
Is that an 8d6 roll?
No. This is regular d6 roll. 3d6. 8, 13.
I do. Wait a minute. Maybe I do not. No, I have empathy.
Let me see what his
not-
communication is.
Oh, I do have persuasion for what it's worth.
Okay, we'll throw in your persuasion.
All right.
I'm gonna see what I add for Fenris. Because he's got a high intimidation if he gets annoyed. He's also got endurance, so he's hurting. That's how bad closing the rift got to him.
Yeah.
All right, what is your total?
17.
You actually win over Fenris because he's like a little bit of a beating.
Right.
Sounding, and then I remembered who I'm playing with. He nods and he kind of leans back and drops his hand, so you can actually touch his forehead if you want. But go ahead and roll, or are you going to talk to him while you're healing?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll just I'll do the healing so that I can be careful enough to really just sort of take the edge off, so that it's not so unbearable. But I don't want to do too much more than that, because obviously he's uncomfortable with this, and also obviously he's done this before. Like, he's perfectly capable of recuperating on his own. So just enough to sort of take the edge off.
Okay, so give me a roll of how much healing you've done.
So that is, let's see, the spell roll was a 20, and it's 1d6, and I'm only spending 1 mana on this, so... Well... What, one point?
Yeah, it's better than 0.
That's true. That's true. If I do have, I did roll doubles, so I do have 4 stunt points. So if it looks like if that doesn't look like it's done much to help him out, I will use 3 of those points to cast the spell again, sort of in the next instant.
Yeah, 1 point of healing isn't going to do a lot for him.
Yeah. Yeah. And in this one, so I'll juice it a little bit, and I'll spend 2 mana to do a little bit more healing. Okay, and that's another 5 points. So we're just taking the edge off.
All right, so that does make him feel better. He perks up a little bit, and he gives you a grudging thank you, because he's just kind of like done. And even though it's like not super late, he's like, I could sleep for a week.
Yeah.
So he feels better. He thanks you. He's like, maybe once I get food and drink, I can talk to you about the riff, or on the way back to Skyhold tomorrow. We can talk about it more.
Whenever you have the energy, and I didn't want to overstep, so you'll still want a good night's sleep tonight, I'm sure.
I want a good week's sleep the way that I feel. So he leans back. He's not like, it's not like he's gonna jump up and beat you because you use magic on him, but he's just like, fucking demons. All I wanted was to come visit Crestwood, get some information, and go back home. And so he's just like grumbling, and I'm not sure where Harold is and all this, but he's just like, now you sit back in a comfy chair and you're just like, I'm never moving again. That's very much his posture right now.
I think Harold at this point would have, I figure, come back with the drinks.
Yeah.
Taking his seat next to Fenris.
Bastion is going to bring over some food.
Okay, great. All right, so everyone has food and drink. Verisa and Mavia, what are you up to while this food and drink is being dispersed?
Am I also getting food and drink? Did they get food and drink for everybody?
Everybody.
Yes.
Okay.
You will not starve, child.
Okay, and she would want to make sure that she got an equal portion despite being the smallest person here.
Oh.
Because she's going to eat all of it. And she's going to sit next to Iron Bull and just make sure, I almost said Red Bull, and make sure he eats.
Oh.
I just wore my last unicorn shirt and it's like right there. So it's like, Red Bull, no.
Oh,
Nightmare fuel for a child.
Oh God.
But she's gonna like make sure he eats, and she's like, oh yeah, this is really what are we eating? Like stew? I don't know. What's on the menu? Come on, DM, give us a full menu.
Oh, you would like a menu?
I would like to know what we're eating.
Okay.
Who do you think she is, Victoria Rogers?
I mean, can I give Victoria Rogers money? But since our lovely companion asked, what you've been.
I sense sarcasm.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Sarcasm verbally. I didn't see it. But since you asked, now you're going to get a menu. So there are tankards of ale, some wine, someone who knows the Inquisitors, make sure there's a bottle of Egregio Pavali for Fenris. And you have mashed root vegetable. Depending on where you're from, you may know it's potato. Other of you may think it's like rutabaga. Also, potatoes do exist in Thetis. Please don't argue with me. That's for the chat, not for you. There's like meatloaf. There's a roast pig on the table. And then Bastian also brought back like, you would think it's weird if you're not from Ferelden, but like roasted turnips and beets are there as well. So basically you have all of that, and there's some rice that shows up from somewhere. And there is a very hearty meal in front of all of you because you just had like a very long fight against demons. And the mayor really wants to impress the Inquisitor as well. So all of this tasty food that normally would not be served in this inn has somehow found its way to this massive table you are all at. So you have a feast fit for the Inquisitor in front of you.
Okay. So after she makes sure that Red Bull, God bless it, Iron Bull. Dang it. After she makes sure, I'm just gonna say Bull. After she makes sure that Bull eats his foods, Mavia would like to see if she can, slightly surreptitiously, look at the other patrons of the inn, the townsfolk around, because I mean we have all this food on the table.
Mm-hmm.
She would like to look around and see if she sees someone who does not.
Who does not have enough food?
Yes.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. 13, 16.
So you've looked around and you notice a family that
There's a dog in the tavern.
sorry.
I just heard it in the soundtrack as well.
Wow, your DM's the worst. I was like, I just totally got thrown off. Sorry. But you look around
Oh.
and there's a small family. It looks like a teenager, a younger child, and a father. You're guessing father. You're not sure. And you hear the whine of a puppy next to them. Why there's a dog in the inn, you don't know. And they've got plates, but it looks like they basically scraped together their last silver to order this meal. And this is probably the best they're going to eat for a while. Everyone else seems to like have just average servings, stew, whatever. There's nothing as lavish as what the Inquisitor's party has been served.
Mavia is going to use the opportunity of everybody paying attention to Fenris and trying, and not necessarily pay attention to her, to try and scrape an extremely big helping of food onto a plate and get up and go and pop it on the table, like walk by, like casual, like, and just slip it on the table and keep walking.
No one's gonna really.
And she's taking like an extra piece of meat and holding it down for the dog.
Oh.
Because I have a dog.
Yeah.
I know how
I mean, even though you all are strangers, no one's really gonna pay much attention to you. Basically, it's the kind of bar that you go to where, as long as someone keeps bringing you ale and some meat and potatoes, you don't care what other people are doing or eating, so no one's paying you much attention. But your party notices, and they're not going to say anything because they've noticed that they're pretty sure that at some point Mavia was not treated well, and so they're never going to question her. Hey, is it time to eat yet? Are we being fed for real?
When is snack meal?
Right, when is snack meal habits? Because a lot of the crew understand that a little too well. And so, Fenris, like he's sitting up and he's eating and he notices, but he doesn't say anything, but if you blink, you'd miss it, but he gives you like a little bit of a smirk. And not in a sarcastic way, not in a I see you way, but in a I got you, I get where you're coming from way.
Okay, she would have tried to fit basically as much as she could on the plate.
Okay.
And she's gonna keep walking. She doesn't want them talking to her. She doesn't want anything like that. She just wants to keep walking.
Yeah, the kids are just like more food, and they fall upon this food like they will never eat a decent meal again. And so they like you hear a muttered thank you in common, but basically whenever you make your way back to your party, you see that the team is basically wolfing down as much food as they can.
Okay, and to the person in chat who says that Iron Bull could give them wings, bravo.
That is Brian. Hi, Brian.
Brian ain't wrong.
Right. The thirst.
So
The
see,
thirst is real.
if we ever get the fastball special coordinated in for combat, it can just be he gives Mavia wings, she just goes flying.
Airborne Mavia must happen at some point.
I
mean,
want this.
Who hasn't wanted to, chuck me over a cliff at some point in my life?
You're too tall.
You
I
know.
can't do that. All right, but you've made sure that they're fed. And Fenris is getting a lot more life to him now. He's actually eating. He's glad someone realized he likes red wine. Bull he's much better, but he has this kind of haunted look about him, and he's like even more than usual because he's a spy by trade. He's being very overt and looking around and making sure no one's right around him, no one's right behind him. Because from what little bit you saw Bull as Skyhold, he sits in that chair, no one can get behind him, and he can see everything. And this is a strange new place. He's not feeling great. He's been attacked, and a lot of horrors have been put upon his mind. So he is
A lot of what
more...
has been put upon his mind?
Horrors.
Oh, okay.
I did not say horrors.
Kelly.
You heard her.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Horrors.
we're in a bar.
I
Tavern.
The bar and the brothel are two separate establishments across Thetis, I'll have you know.
Okay.
I just need to remind everyone that the same thing happened last week where I said horror and Kelly thought I said something else.
Come on now.
So I don't think it's any of us saying horror wrong.
You be quiet.
I just...
Don't make me publicize our backstage chat. Go back to playing the game.
Oh god, no. But horrors have been visited upon his mind. And so he's just uncharacteristically quiet, because Bull's normally chatty. If there was a redhead in the bar, he might be trying to chat her up for other reasons. But he just basically is like eating slowly, got his flag in the veil, and the minute he sees a seat where he can kind of keep his back to the wall and feel more secure, he takes it. Even if it means kind of not sitting directly with the party, he is freaked out. And the mayor is kind of dancing attendance on Fenris, even though Fenris is looking like, look, I just want to eat and like have a glass of wine and be left the fuck alone. That's where his brain is. And he's just like, oh my god, this man will not leave me be. I can't do any favors for you right now. Leave me alone is where he's at. So Bastian, what are you doing after like getting folks, making sure everyone in your party is fed and has tasty side dishes?
I'm just gonna kind of look around and try and get a sense of who else is at the tavern this evening.
Okay.
I'm more looking to see if there's anyone who might potentially be problematic or along those lines.
Give me a search or perception check.
This might suck.
You're a fighter, not a spy.
No, definitely not. Where is... okay, so I clicked twice by accident, but the first one was a 8 on perception.
Oh, yeah, you're in a bar. You don't see anyone that really pings your danger senses. No one is like making you feel like danger, Will Robinson danger. You're pretty much glad to have survived the fight. You got a killing blow. You're super excited by that, but no one's really pinging your danger sense.
I'm gonna call over the mayor and just try and spare Fenris some of the incessant pestering, and just kind of strike up a conversation with the mayor about how life has been in the town since the blight.
Go for it.
So, so Mayor, you know, after the blight, what happened here? How's it been since then?
It's been rough. We lost a lot of people to the blight, and now we've got demons coming out of the sky. Um, we just kind of got on our feet a few years ago after the blight, and now that green thing in the sky, rifts appearing around our town. It's been pretty rough.
Hmm. Hmm. Any trouble with any criminal issues or, you know, problems with your people doing things they shouldn't be doing?
Mm, we've had some people who were more than willing to steal from the rest and go about their way, taking what food and rations we had.
Mm. Passers-by or just actual townsfolk trying to come back?
No, actual townsfolk trying to leave
Oh.
instead of trying to find a chantry or find a a circle if maybe they had magic. They stole from the town's stores and ran. And we found some, others we didn't.
Hmm. Um, the have you had any passers-by, any strange folk coming through?
Well, we've had quite a few Templars passing through, and we had wardens looking for one of their own, which we thought odd.
Do you know their names?
Um, one of them is a well-known warden. I believe it's Taryn Logain. Well, not Taryn now that he's a warden.
So
He
Logain,
was
how long ago?
maybe a fortnight. He said that some fellows were looking for him, and he just passed by as a courtesy to let me know he was here and was going to use the way station. There's a small warden safe house that's in our town.
Has he moved off?
As far as I know, yes. But wardens keep their own counsel. He didn't have to let me know he was here. So
Anybody
he
see
may still
where?
be there.
I take it nobody's seen if he left or where he went towards.
Not that anyone's replied or told us. We've been a little busy with demon incursions.
Templars helping you with that?
Not really. A lot of them just see the green rift in the sky or come across an actual demon and turn the other way. I guess Templar training isn't what it used to be.
So I've heard.
And I know that people are looking for that runaway warden, runaway apostate, the 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 blonde mage that was supposed to be a consort of the champion. But from what we know, he started this whole war, and no one's found him since Kirkwall went up in flames.
Templars talking about him?
Mostly what they do if they got their hands on him, yes. No one seems to have found him. We don't know if the wardens are helping him. We don't know if he's run to them because, from what I understand, once a warden, always a warden. And if he's run back to their ranks, nothing in Thedas can touch him.
Templars say anything about where they thought he might be?
No, they did mention that the trail had gone a bit cold and that they were headed a few towns over, and some of them were headed toward Impristilion.
I see. Bastion is just kind of grab a long, slow drink of his ale and kind of look over at Harold and kind of try to get him to come over.
Does Harold notice this?
I mean, so long as you get my attention one way or another, like I would probably see you. How loud is the tavern right now, the inn?
It's not particularly loud because you've had this fight and gotten back to the inn a few, like in the hours between lunch and dinner, and anyone staying at the tavern is out doing work or looking for work. So it's not the usual evening loudness and din, but it's like average party conversation, like right when a party starts
Mhm.
before the room fills up.
Do you think I could have overheard certain words like warden or anything like of the sort during his conversation between Bastien and the mayor?
Probably because you're not that far apart in the room.
Okay.
Because you all got to see this like kind of this massive table that an honored guest would be put at. So it's not like you're like across the room or down the
Okay.
hall or anything.
So yeah, in
So
that
unless
case,
it was like evening level of noise, you probably would have heard him.
okay. So yeah, in that case, I think Harold would have already been paying like a little bit of attention to Bastien. So the moment Bastien motions him to come over, he would definitely. I was going to say come quickly. He would definitely make his way quickly.
Well, I am that good. Mr. Mayor, this is the warden of our party. Would you be able to let him know anything that you know about the wardens that have been through and Logain, where exactly he went, where this outpost is?
Wait,
Watchpost thing.
Logain?
Yeah, Mayor here has told me that Logain was here within the last fortnight. Came through and told the mayor he'd be staying up at the where was it, Mayor? You said he'd be?
You can call me Gregory. It doesn't have to be. We don't have to be so formal. There's a warden safe house, like a way station when they're passing through and need somewhere to sleep for the night and to resupply.
And we're talking about Logain MacTier. Or another
Yeah.
Logain. Oh,
Is there another Logain?
I don't know how common this name could be in Ferelden.
Not particularly. At least not amongst. And the mayor stops himself to he finally realizes Harold's an elf. I don't know why he didn't think of it before. Probably because he ran in terror for his life. He's like, well, someone your age, but human probably wouldn't be named Logain. He really fell out of favor, shall we say, early in his career as a warden.
That very same Logain.
Yeah.
And he came to your village?
He passed through and let me know I was here as a courtesy. As you're wearing the blue and gray, you know that wardens are not beholden to any king or fealty. And in fact, part of their oath and mandate is to stay out of those kind of affairs. He could have passed through Crestwood and I wouldn't have been the wiser, but as a courtesy, he told me he was here and that, if I could, not let any other wardens know that he passed by.
I hope you didn't give him your word, because you just told the whole lot of us.
Well, not my word, and it was just to other people who seemed intent on killing him.
Oh. No, I don't think that's my intention. I am looking for him for answers, but we're also looking...
I mean, you are a warden, so I would think you'd want to find your brother in arms in these times. In these uncertain times we're facing, thanks to demons.
And where is that way station?
Oh, about 5 miles or so When you get out of the inn tomorrow, go to the right, go about 5 miles or so. If you see a lot of Druffalo, you're going the right direction. Don't fight the Druffalo, they're mean, especially before they've grazed. If you start seeing demons and wyvern, you've gone the wrong way. I know that's not a big help, but stay to the right, find the Druffalo, and you'll find the way station. Go to the left and find the wyverns, it won't be a good day.
I'll do my best to avoid going to the left. Thank you.
Gregory, how certain are you that this is Logain?
Are you asking me or Harold?
I'm asking Gregory.
I'm pretty certain it's him. I read of his tales in fighting the Orlesian army as a boy. If the paintings I've seen around and the etchings in books are accurate, that would be him, but a lot older. He has no reason to lie to me. I wasn't trying to take his head.
Thank you for letting us know it. I appreciate that, Gregory.
You're welcome. Please enjoy your hospitality. I'll get out of your hair. I'm sure that there are people who want to be reassured that there are no more demons, at least for today. But I will be by in the morning to see you off and make sure that you're supplied. If you need anything, have them send a runner to me at my house, and I will see you in the morning.
See you in the morning.
So you know that Logain could be in the vicinity. He could be nearby, as close as 5 miles away.
What do you think about that, Harold?
I'm starting to wonder if Logain is here for the same purposes that we are.
You think he'd be hunting Anders?
Perhaps. Wasn't Anders also a Grey Warden?
Are you asking me at the gym? Or are you talking to each other still?
I'm talking to Bastien.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really know all of the characters, shall we say, but what would you want to find Anders for, though?
Well, I personally want to find it because Fenris wants to find him.
Yeah, we know you want to...
As a... No, please continue then. You were saying?
Yeah, we know that you're doing this because Fenris is involved. But what do you think Logain himself? Why would Logain be seeking out Anders?
And I am completely transparent with you. I have nothing to hide. As a warden, I have not received any word that we should look for Anders or do anything with them. Maybe Logain, being a senior member of the order, might have gotten different orders, or even gotten orders, period. As far as looking for Anders right now, I'll remind you, Bastien, that I'm doing it for the same reasons as you. We were asked by the Lord High Inquisitor, not because it was Fenris. I agreed to this quest way before I knew that my friend was actually the High Inquisitor, the Lord Inquisitor.
As you say Lord Inquisitor, a dinner roll smacks you in the back of the head.
Perks of the job, I see.
See, I can be fed at any time. I just need to turn around and say, Lord Inquisitor!
Just keep that mouth open wide, eh?
Ah. I was gonna add feed me daddy, but never mind.
You know what?
As Lord Inquisitor, I expect him to have good aim.
Hey, can we move to a different scene?
Oh no, we're enjoying this too. We're enjoying.
Don't
this
start
too
if you can't finish.
Normally
Oh,
Fenris
boy.
finishes, but
Well, now.
Sometimes you have to just change that up, you know? Spice up the experience.
Verisa snorts loudly and then turns to Fenris and says,
I thought we were saying this out of game.
Oh no, because Fenris very much in character threw that roll at you when
Oh,
you kept saying Lord High Inquisitor.
Oh
And
no, that
then-
part I was yeah.
No, but
Oh,
she would
no.
snort at that too. And she looks at Fenris and just said, "Can I have the flashback?"
Oops.
Did anybody eat the roll that got thrown?
Oh my god, you're not. No, because it like bounced off Harold's head and I don't know where it went.
Oh.
I mean, you can look for it, but I would not recommend eating the roll. Just
It's
Where
like,
you're-
it's like eating M&Ms off a movie theater floor. It's just not advisable.
even the 3-second rule doesn't know.
It's a bad idea.
Yeah,
No.
the 3-second rule with my face doesn't work. Like
It's
the
not even
floor
your
of
face.
the
We
floor
don't
of
know
the
what
inn
your
is
face
fine.
is.
It's because it hit my face.
Wow. No, it was like it basically like glanced off the back of your head, but you know you got smacked with something.
Oh, definitely.
And Fenris, you look over and Fenris is just like kind of like, we're in public. Do you hear yourself, boys?
I mean, I can't be worse than the King of Ferelden.
I can't. Dagnabbit, I can't say that. Like Fenris catches himself. He's like, you know what? I'm going to go lie down because it has been a day. And then he turns around and realizes he has no idea what rooms have been assigned to any of you. He's like getting ready to storm off. And then he catches the barkeep. He's like, do you know where the mayor got us rooms? And, you know, he has to deal with the bowing and scraping and, you know, your high inquisitorialness. And because I'm an evil GM, as Fenris is halfway to the room and being shown by this very conciliatory barkeep, you hear a loud, "What? You did what?" As you hear, like, the door open. And he's like, I'm the Inquisitor. I should get my own room.
He's rooming with Mavia.
Oh God, no! He'd murder you in your sleep. But you know, it is still an inn. It doesn't mean that there's unlimited free open rooms, and it's a lovely room. Actually, Simon, roll me a d20.
Please tell me it's a heart-shaped bed.
Just roll me a d20.
No, it's one of those champagne glasses you get in the Poconos.
This
It's
isn't the
the
site. The Sybaris.
5.
Oh boy. So you follow the sound of Fenris yelling because like decorum is gone out the window. He's tired, he's grumpy, he still doesn't feel great. And now he's starting to get a hangover from drinking all this wine without a lot of food in him. You see him standing like in the middle of the room, and it's a very luxurious room for like a podunk ass town. And it's I guess what we'd say is a queen, between a queen and a king size bed. It's basically like a nice hotel bed, but there's one bed.
Oh, you mean a playground?
A playground?
Yeah, a bed that
Oh,
size
God.
is called.
Oh, I did not know that.
No, I just
Um,
made that up.
Oh, okay. I was like, is that a term? And he's standing there looking like, really? I just want to go to sleep. I just want to sleep off my hangover.
Go.
I'm tired.
Go to sleep then.
And he turns around. He's like, you did this, didn't you?
I didn't do anything.
Yet.
Bastien, shut up! For all the posturing and the fun and the laughs, Fenris, I would never do something like that against your... without your consent.
I know, I'm just...
Take the bed. I'll sleep on a table or the floor.
You're
or
not
something.
gonna sleep on a table. There's enough room for two of us. I'm just be quiet whenever you come to bed, but you're not... Neither one of us is sleeping on a floor again. Just go to sleep. Just be quiet when you come back in the room.
Well,
And he like throws a key at you underhand, like kind of overhand, like here's your key.
I'll take that time to, if that's okay with Fenris, take off my armor,
Yeah.
sword, shield, leave them in the room so that I make as little noise as possible when I go in.
Yeah, like, you know, because no one had really thought you'd be gone overnight, because Crestwood isn't that far, especially on horseback. Nobody's really, like, he at least wasn't prepared, unless he remembers, and I'm going to make him roll for it, that, you know, Cullen did pack him a bag, basically, just in case, with supplies. No guarantees there's overnight clothes or change of clothes in there. Oh, boy. So that's only a 10. Fenris is so discombobulated, he has totally forgotten that both Zevran and Cullen made sure he had supplies. He's just like, I hate life right now. I just sleep. That's all I want is sleep. And he like basically gets out of as much clothes as he can and still sleep. But
Does he need help unfastening his armor? Because I figure he's probably wearing heavy armor.
he is wearing armor you can offer. He may.
I do.
I'm gonna roll again, and we're gonna have opposing rolls. So what's your I guess persuasion is what you have, or
Yeah, that would be, and actually, I would like to make it seduction, but not
Okay.
have it go any farther. Like, I'm offering, but I'm also offering because I care for him, and I want him
Okay.
to see me as, you know, not just the idiot that's been making jokes and being very embarrassing publicly.
Okay. Before you make that roll, I just want to do a quick check-in with everyone. Are you all fine with this going this far? Okay. I just want to be sure.
Mhm.
And chat, if something is making you uncomfortable, please speak up and chat.
Just so everybody knows, there will never be anything explicit on screen. Like, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
So
Like it'll always be a fade to black.
yeah. So
Um,
for all you thirsty people out there, this is not the channel for that.
I mean, we can't stop you from writing fan fiction.
Oh yeah, if
but
you want to write
it's not gonna
fanfic.
It's never going to happen in the chat or on the show. But if any of you feel moved to write fanfic of what doesn't happen on screen, we can't stop you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll a d20 for this. Both of us roll a d20.
Okay, it's not just like a seduction roll.
You make a seduction roll. I'm gonna roll a d20 for
Okay.
my own reasons.
I got a 16.
Okay. Fenris did not roll well.
Wait, but I rolled a double, so I get stunned points? Does that exist in social?
I mean, that could be
Um,
useful later.
I think it's a
Um,
special.
It's usually during
thing.
combat.
Yeah, I think there's like a special thing you have to do stunts in RP settings, if I remember.
Oh,
correctly.
okay. So it doesn't affect like anything.
Yeah,
That's cool.
It
Okay, so Fenris is actually kind of emotionally vulnerable after everything that's happened,
Oh, no.
after the fight, and he wasn't ready for this. And he is actually amenable to helping, because he's worn down, but not in a I give up way, but in a the weight of being in the Inquisitor in this moment is really wearing on him, and it's just you two in the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
I'm just helping him take the armor off. Do basically what a squire would do. But nothing more. I think if anything, I might leave my hands like lingering on his shoulder a little too long.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing more than that. Like, once I make sure he's out of his armor, I'll say, I'll try to make sure we're not too rowdy over there.
I mean, yeah.
You go to sleep. You need it.
Oh, you were gonna say something. What were you gonna say?
Nothing important. Nothing that can't wait.
Harold. And there's like a lot of weight to the way he says your name. Because in that moment, he's not the Inquisitor. You're not this Grey Warden who's been summoned by Lord High Inquisitor Leto Hawk. You're two friends that have dealt with a lot and seen some shit. And he doesn't say anything else. He just reaches out and takes your hand because he needs that grounding in that moment. But he's just quiet and just takes your hand if you let him.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if I can hold his hand.
Yeah, and it's that I need to make sure that I can feel moment. Because the fight took a lot out of him, and he's rattled.
I don't know how it's been for you since leaving Denarius, but I've had a lot of trouble trying to sleep by myself. And
Oh, thank you, KB.
thank you for all the subs, Tilly.
It's okay.
There, Tilly strikes again.
1, 2, 3.
We will hold this tender moment
Yes.
until the alerts are done. Don't be sorry. Thank you for supporting Simon's channel and the work we're doing. Just holding out so we don't start and stop with all of the.
I think I muted them. I just want to make sure. The mute button for the alert box on Streamlabs doesn't do anything.
Yeah, usually you have to just turn them off altogether.
Yeah. That's okay. There's I think it's the last one. Yeah, that's the last one. By the way, while we're doing all this, thank you so much, Tilly. Like we said earlier, all of your donations. Oh my god.
Oh, there go 5 more alerts.
Well, all of your donations, all of your subscriptions are going to the Community Health Network. All the money that you are giving today via these subs is actually all going to help caregivers on the front line of the COVID crisis. So thank you so much, everyone. Now I have to do math.
And just remember that there does exist a sound clip of Doug Cockle as Geralt saying, "You should always listen to Tilly. She is always right." And there you go. She's obviously right. Look at the sub chain she started.
Good job, good job.
Just so everyone knows, we have raised today only we have raised God, I'm gonna have to do math, but it's a lot. It's half of what we raised all week just today.
And last
nice.
night, you can add to it, my channel, I think,
Yeah.
was about 275, 280 last night. So,
Wow.
not bad.
Okay, we're done with the alerts.
Yay! Thank you for gift subs. It's not my channel, but hey, this is still fun.
Yeah.
Were you going to talk before?
I just said I've had a lot of trouble sleeping on my own.
Fenris nods and he's still holding your hand. He's like, I've not been able to sleep well ever since I escaped. It's made for some interesting rumors when Hawk visits or when Dorian and I sit up drinking and talking about Deventer. But sleep isn't something that I get very often, or not good sleep. So I understand that, because I didn't really leave Denarius. I got left like an unwanted sack of potatoes until he decided I was worth too much money to leave behind. But if we're gonna tell that full story, I need a lot more drink.
I don't think you need any more drinks tonight. I think you need rest.
Oh, I need rest. Do you know why I like Grigio Pavali so much?
No, why?
I mean, honestly, it's kind of a fuck you to Daenerys. He liked making me serve his little magister buddies to scare them, to show that his wolf could be tamed at any moment with a word, but also turn on a dime and murder them all if that's what he wanted. He enjoyed making me serve them like a docile old dog. And then if they annoyed him, having me kill them. And it was always tempting me with a glass or a sip if I was good. And so when I took his mansion back in Kirkwall, I drank all of the Agrigio Pavali in the years that I lived there. And after I took his heart, I took the last 2 bottles that had been aging, that I'd been saving, and drank them very slowly and savored them before I realized that revenge, while gratifying in the moment, wasn't everything I thought it would be. So it's petty, and it's something that I thought I'd work through, but if I can get my hands on a Grigio Pavali, I'll always take it. It's like water to me in some ways.
Sometimes revenge is the only way to cope.
Yeah, and spite. Spite is a powerful motivator. And all the time he's been talking, by the way, he's just like, he's, you know, like how he's got like, he has his unmarked hand in yours, and he starts to like almost scrub his marked hand over his face and then catches himself. But he's just like looking down at the floor. His eyes are open, but he's almost afraid of what you're going to think of him for being so vulnerable and open.
As he's talking, can I slowly like bring him closer to the bed to sit?
Yeah.
And I would, if he lets me, I would run my hand in his hair.
He jerks at first because he's not used to letting people give him physical comfort in any sense of the word. Mostly because the markings do and can hurt him, especially after he's had to close a rift. But when he realizes it's like a knee-jerk reaction, he actually like hangs his head a little and relaxes and lets you do that.
It's funny that he called you his wolf. Ironic. If there was anything that ever got me a little jealous of you was, well, he named me Harrell after Fen Harrell. Or is it Fenarel? I don't remember how they pronounce it.
I don't know. I'm sure you can ask our 2 Dalish friends. I'm sure they'll be happy to tell you.
But I was never his favorite. And
Fedner scoffs at that, but keep talking. He just gives like a little scoff at saying favorite.
And I've always wished I was in your place, not because of jealousy or envy, but just so that, you know, whenever he raised his hand at you, that I would take the beating for you. So that you wouldn't have to suffer.
Wow, Fenris, he squeezes your hand, but then he leans back so he can look you right in the eye as he says this. Don't ever wish that for yourself. Never ever wish that for yourself. What you got working in the house was nothing compared to what he did to me, what Hadriana did to me. And he catches himself because he's really raw in this moment, and of the people he's known and traveled with, you're one of the few that truly understands what his life was like in Deventer, even before the markings. And he jumps up to pace, and it's like, why would you be jealous of me? I was a well-trained cur. I'm very lucky that I met Hawk when I did, and that he was willing to help me get rid of Daenerys. We're both free. Not that being tied to the Inquisition is what I would have picked for my life after Kirkwall, but it's still better than what we lived through. Never wish that for yourself. I would have taken anything over what was done to me over those years. The other part of why I drink so much, or at least I did in Kirkwall, is sometimes that was the only way I could sleep and deal with the memories when they did come back to me. So he's almost like shaken at this point, and he sits back down in the bed, and like how someone curls up when they're in an emotional storm.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not triggered, he's not living that moment again, but he's just afraid that you're going to see him as weak.
I was very young at the time, and hence why I didn't really want to talk about it, but you're the only person I can talk to about anything that happened in Deventer, and I'm sorry if I drum up any old memories. I don't want to talk about that anymore. What about moving forward?
Well, moving forward is on hold until we close that thing in the sky, but I mean, it is what it is. I've traded one unwitting master that I didn't want for doing the right thing when circumstance snagged me yet again. And at that, he gives you this wry little smile, and kind of shakes himself. He's trying to play it cool,
Mm-hmm.
and he's anything but. And he looks at the door. He's like, the others are gonna wonder what's going on. They're gonna tease you even more. Just go have a good night, and we can talk more in the morning.
You know, before I go, you
Mhm.
are the strongest person I've ever seen. I'm not talking about physical might. After everything you endured, after everything you've been through, Fenris, other people would have been truly broken. And the Fenris I see before me tonight is shaken perhaps by everything that happens, but you are not broken. You are not weak. My friend, I don't know where this was going. I should get gone.
It's fine. I'm not. The fight riled me more than I'm gonna admit out there. Just, you're a good man, Harold. I appreciate you.
Well, I will get going, and as I move closer to the door, I'll look. I'll open the door. And half shouting outside of the door, and half like smiling at Fenris inside, I'll say, "And I bid you a good night, my Lord Inquisitor," and just do like an excessive flourishy bow.
And he gives you a little smirk and then grabs a pillow, but I don't know if you shut the door fast enough before he can throw it at you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He gets ready. He like gets under the covers and he feels better, at least emotionally. Physically, he's still kind of raggedy, but emotionally, he's a little better. Fenris is asleep. Before we start wrapping up, did anyone else have any urgent business? Anyone they definitely want to talk to or have a conversation with before people start calling it the night in the inn?
I think Verisa, because she's a sneaky bitch, and she is mildly concerned about being in a human inn in Ferelden.
Mm-hmm.
Would have made sure that she kept her back to the door and is listening very intently to everything that's going on. And she didn't drink at all. She ate, but she didn't drink anything.
Okay.
Any alcohol of any sort. And you would have, like, if Harold's coming out, you would have seen Verisa kind of standing at the edge of the, like, end of the landing, and she would just chuck Fenris's bag at him. Not saying anything, just chuck it at him. And then go back to standing, probably overlooking the balcony and just watching everybody.
So would Harold know that that's Fenris's bag?
Okay, she might say, this belongs to him.
Oh. I'll bring it to him. Not because of anything, it's because I have the key to the room. And I'll grab the bag.
You are aware that if I actually thought you were sleeping with him by now, I wouldn't have said anything.
You're a good friend.
No, I'm not. And she'll just turn to look back and make sure that she's got one eye on Zalanis at all times.
Okay. Zalanis and Bastien and Mavia, what are you doing? Now that Mavia has played the guardian angel and made sure that family ate.
Since Iron Bull doesn't have any hair that I can, like poof, it's got the horns. She's taking some of her hair ornaments out and she's like hanging them on his horns, like turning him into like a little decorative tree.
Oh God.
I mean, they make her feel better, so she assumes they're gonna make him feel better.
Oh. And he knows what you're trying to do, and he lets you do it because he knows what you're trying to do.
So now he's just got like little sparkly stones like hanging from bits of string, like hanging off his horns. He looks like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Oh God. And since Bull is so large, I'm just imagining that. Oh my God. But he humors you. He lets you do it. Zalanis and Bastien, what are you up to before you call it a night?
Once I see Fenris go off with Harold upstairs, and it's clear that we'll be talking about everything that happened tomorrow. I think Verisa's off being sneaky. Well, in the moments that Verisa's not off being sneaky, I think I'll just sort of chat with her about I didn't expect to feel that rush of adrenaline and of battle, and Verisa, I swear I could feel them. I know it sounds crazy, but I swear I could feel the rest of the clan there, just out of reach in the Fade when I called upon it. I think we're going to be okay.
We'll be okay. As
But you
long
have
as
to be
don't do
careful,
any-
huh?
You're the one who did stupid things. You're the one
You're
who
the
did
one who
stupid
got
things.
attacked by a demon.
And he didn't even get anywhere near hitting me.
Because I took care of it and I shielded you with the magic.
Not until afterwards.
Is a fair point.
Also, which of us spent their time actually learning how to use a weapon, and which of us sat around listening to stories all day?
I listen to stories, and now I call upon the stories in the Fade, and I make sure that demons get blown up. That was so cool, Marisa.
Yes. Don't... Remember what we said about how you think things are cool?
Other people think it's horrifying, and I think it's cool. I know.
Yes, and the Fenris is not one who is going to be well with your excitement. Unless you can get him at an opportune time when he's maybe more relaxed.
I will tone down my excitement.
Just Zalanas, remember what happens and how certain people did not take it well when you would be very excited about everything? I mean, my brother was an ass, but he shouldn't have done that, but these are people with a lot more violence in their desires.
You are correct. I will be more careful in my enthusiasm, and you will be more careful on the battlefield. Eh?
Yes. I'm sure we will all not die.
Quick question: was that in Common or Elven?
I think actually, I mean, everyone's off doing other things. I think if we had a reasonably private corner, obviously not, silent and not completely out of earshot of everyone, but if we had a reasonably private corner, I think it might have been in a sort of pigeon between the two.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to use more Common, knowing that, there are a group of us who don't all speak it, and best to use Elven sparingly so that when we have to keep things from other people, they don't question it too much.
Yeah, I think it's like half and half, and I think she probably would have said maybe not so loud in front of the Shem.
Fair. So it's fair to say that a human or a non-Dalish elf would not have understood what you said.
I mean, they may have gotten certain words. Like, she said Fenris's name as Fenris.
Right.
Sure. Yeah, and some of the things about, chastising Verisa in particular to be more careful, like that might have been more in common.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean,
so
it very much look like anyone watching would be able to tell that these are two people who are very comfortable with each other, but in like a sibling kind of way.
Okay. All right. So, Bastian, what are you doing, and did you try to figure out what all of that was about as you clearly overheard them?
Bastian was kind of mulling it over with his ale tankard in his hand and just kind of slightly getting confused every now and again when they'd pop in and out of Common, and just couldn't really put it together entirely. So kind of turned around and started chatting up a passing barmaid and ignored what was going on with the elves.
Okay. All right. So, as far as chatting up the barmaid, are you just chatting her up or chatting her up?
Well, no, I just chatting her up like casually.
Okay. Hey, just checking, because I can't leave y'all alone for 5 minutes without it turning into like apparently horny Thursday, or I'm sorry, thirsty Thursday.
I have not even tried in character.
Oh, God.
Out of character,
You've been the
I can't help
primary
myself.
instigator back here, though.
I'm afraid to see what happens next week. And speaking of which, I think that's a good place to wrap for this week's episode of Shenaniganry. And yay, we all survived combat. There was a lot of injury. Thank you all for letting me run amok in Thetis with you. So, Simon, take it away.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you to all of you who hung out in chat. Thank you to all the follows, all the donations, all the bits. As we said earlier, this is all going to Community Health Network. So thank you so much for your generosity, everyone. I am Simon at Wandering DM. You can find me here tomorrow GMing Cyberpunk Red as the group is doing something or some other. Oh yeah, right, we're starting combat because they blew up a whole parking lot. So yeah, that's a thing. And otherwise, you can also find me tomorrow morning on Praxagora Thesmophoria's channel. That's twitch.tv/Praxagora Thesmophoria. Aren't we doing a play tomorrow morning? Or am I
I
not
didn't think
in
you
it?
were playing it. You're not doing Hamlet. You were this morning. You're not on Hamlet.
I was this morning, but you should definitely check out Hamlet tomorrow.
Tanya's in Hamlet.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah.
Is she
Spoiler.
Hamlet?
Oh.
I'm Horatio.
Oh.
Ooh.
Let's see how this goes.
I'm definitely gonna tune in. But yeah, so thank you so much for thank you so much, Tilly, for that tip. But like I said, this is going straight to CHN. Thank you so much. And let's just go around the table, tell us who you are, plug in whatever you need to plug in. Cast, you're allowed to put all the links that you want in chat, and we'll do same order as we introduced ourselves. So we'll begin with, you know what? No, let's mix it up tonight. We're gonna start reverse order, and we're gonna start with Tanya.
Oh, hello. My name's Tanya, Cypher of Tyr. That is my name everywhere on the internet. Sunday, you can catch me on twitch.tv/DND as Rivals of Waterdeep concludes Season 6. And then before Sunday, you can catch me tomorrow morning with Deidre and doing Hamlet. So I get to brush off my thespian skills and get back into shenaniganry with the bard. And this will be fun because I haven't done that in a very long time. And then after Rivals of Waterdeep, I don't know what I'm doing other than coming back here every Thursday. So let's see how far off the rails we can take this traversing through Thedas looking for Anders next week.
Thank you for... No, I was just going to say thank you for coming, Tanya. But go ahead, Eugenio.
Hi, everybody. I'm Okenyo, sometimes known as your friendly neighborhood Dungeon Master, DM Jazzy Hands. I'm on Twitter at DM Jazzy Hands. I am the Dungeon Master and producer of an actual play D&D podcast called The Last Refuge. We drop new episodes every Wednesday, and you can find us on Twitter at DND Last Refuge. Tomorrow night, so we were invited, my podcast was invited to attend the Long Island Tabletop Expo that's supposed to be this weekend, which is obviously not happening. But they're throwing a bunch of the content from those of us who were invited to be there on stream. So tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'll be live on their channel, twitch.tv/LI Tabletop, running a game with some of my podcast crew and some of the crew from the Taking Initiative podcast. And then on Saturday night, we have our live show for my podcast there at the Long Island Tabletop. And I believe that's at maybe 8 p.m. You should follow us on Twitter. I have no idea what time it is. I just show up when they tell me. So I'll be doing that the next 2 days. Next Tuesday is the finale of Call of Cthulhu on the Venture Maidens channel. Super exciting, very scary, very gross. Wednesdays, you can find me on Little Red Dot's channel playing in a game of Overlight. And then here I am on Thursdays.
Thank you for coming, Eugenio. Kelly.
Oh, hi. I am Kelly, aka the Opera Geek. You can follow me on the Twitters at the Opera Geek, which I just linked. You can catch me here, obviously, on Thursdays because you're doing it right now. You can also catch me here on Tuesdays playing in The Witcher. Wednesdays and Sundays. Hi, Kat. I know.
Oh.
I'm streaming on my channel, twitch.tv/the Opera Geek. Some Stardew Valley with cartographer extraordinaire Devin Rue. And starting tomorrow, I will be a guest player for a few sessions on Tales from the Mist, which is the official Dungeons & Dragons channel, twitch.tv/DND, starting at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST. And I've never played a monk before, so this is going to go well.
Oops. Thank you for coming, Kelly. Andrew.
Hi, my name is Andrew. You can find me here on Thursdays playing with this group of amazing people, having a lot of fun with our I'm not going to say the word. Shenaniganery. There we go. And that's it for now. I will have a Twitter together for next week for y'all because, yes, the peer pressure does work. I love you all.
So then once you have it, we can tag you with the fanfic.
Go for it. I can't wait to see what comes up.
Oh dear. Marisa.
I've been muted all that time. Sorry.
You are,
Oh my god.
professional. #pro. Hey y'all, you know me. I'm at Dear Gentleman on Twitter or Prexgorth as Euphoria. You see me hanging out in the Twitch chat. And like people were saying, at 11 a.m. over on my channel, we are doing Hamlet. We're doing Hamlet. Wow,
Yes.
I just totally froze. Today was Henry V. Tomorrow is Hamlet. If these are mostly all cold readings, and they lead to some very interesting comments, some fun times, and some great performances. And we would, if you want to come and hang out, we appreciate it. If not, the VODs are going to be slowly going up on YouTube as I figure out this YouTube thing and how this all works. But it'll figure out. And then you can find me tomorrow night on Simon's channel back here for some Cyberpunk. And I'm not getting shot. Again, that's my goal, not to get shot. I am the only person who has gotten shot in every combat. And I have no, I'm the mechanic. Why are you shooting at the mechanic, y'all?
Oh lord.
Ask
that
Firefly.
seems- Exactly. It feels awkward and mean. But you can find me, check my Twitter because I was supposed where I'm going to be and all the fun things that I do and all the fun people I get to hang out with, like these wonderful people. And I love every minute of it, and I can't wait to see what happens next week.